Hello everybody, this is me Johanna and this is my long-term review of the Pixel 2 XL, my primary device for the past 8 months. I'm going to let you guys know the things I really liked about it and the things I didn't like so much about it. To start off with, the things that I liked about the phone. The number one thing I loved about this phone was its performance. I mean, this was the fastest phone I've ever used. Apps open up quickly and I faced no major lag issues whatsoever on this phone. Except for one small con. I did face a problem with Facebook on a few occasions. I mean, Facebook did crash for a while. But they sorted out that issue with a software update. So everything's completely cool now. Whether it was games, high-intensive games at the highest of graphics, I played Asphalt 8, Asphalt Extreme, Dead Trigger 2, Temple Run, you name it. Every single game I played on this phone, and every single thing worked perfectly. I mean, there were no frame drops or anything like this on this phone. It was perfect, I would say, in terms of gaming. The second thing I really loved on this phone are its cameras. I mean, this phone has got the best set of cameras on any mobile phone till date. People keep saying the Huawei P20 Pro has a better camera, but that's only during night light. During daylight shots, this phone is capable of taking even better shots than even the Huawei P20 Pro even today. During ideal daylighting situations, this phone can take some unbelievably crisp images. You guys can have a look at some of the shots I've taken. And apart from that, the portrait mode on this phone is second to none. There is no phone available right now on the market that can beat this phone's portrait mode. It is that good. It very rarely gets portrait mode shots wrong. I mean, the blur of the background, the edge detection are all excellent on this phone. Just take a look at a few shots I took on portrait mode. The next thing I really liked was its performance in low light. In ideal low light situations, this phone can take the best shots of any phone out there. I think maybe the Huawei P20 Pro might be a bit better, but in terms of detail, I think this phone can still give it a run for its money. Have a look at some of the shots I've taken on this phone. I mean, they look beautiful. A point to note, to get the best camera performance out of this phone, you need to go into the camera app over here. Then you'll see this option for HDR over here. Go inside. There are two options. You can either disable the HDR or enable the HDR. But my personal suggestion to you guys is to enable both the HDR Plus as well as the HDR Enhanced mode. If you take shots on either one of these modes, you would not be disappointed. This phone can take the best HDR shots on any mobile phone right now. I mean, it enhances the quality of the images, literally. The next thing I really loved about this phone was its video stabilization. Okay, this is a video footage taken on the Pixel 2 XL. Alright, I'm now walking, now jogging, and finally running very, very fast. Halt. As you saw in the previous clip, the video stabilization on this phone was excellent, to say the least. You know, the next thing I really loved on this phone were its speakers. As you guys can see, this phone has a set of stereo speakers, one on top and one down. And to be honest, they're loud, but not the loudest. I'll give you guys an idea of how these speakers sound. It's at max volume, by the way. Let's play. As you guys can hear, They're loud enough, clear enough, and extremely pleasant to the ears. You guys don't need to use headphones to listen to music on this phone. The music quality via the stereo speakers are excellent in my books. Now moving to the next thing I really loved about this phone. The next thing I really loved about the Pixel 2 XL has been its battery. To keep in mind one thing, this phone has a 3520 milliampere battery, which is a little above average. But what is above average in this phone is its display resolution. You got to keep in mind one thing, this phone is running a 1440p screen, a 2K screen. That's 360p more than almost every phone out there. There are very few phones that have a 1440p display, and most of the phones have average or just above average battery life. I'm happy to report one thing. The battery life on this phone is well above average. I would say it's excellent, to tell you. When I first got this phone way back in November of 2017, I was getting easily over a day of usage. That's about 24-25 hours of usage. And take a listen to this. I was averaging anywhere between 6 and 6.5 hours of screen on time, which is phenomenal for a Quad HD display phone. The best battery life I got on this phone was nearly 7 hours, and I used it for almost a day, 23 hours, 6 hours and 52 minutes of screen on time. You know, these figures can put some full HD plus display phones, 1080p display phones to shame. I mean, literally. Ever since then, this phone has received a lot of software updates in the form of monthly security patches. And I must confess to one thing though. I have become an extremely heavy user of the phone. And despite that, the phone easily lasts me between 12 and 14 hours per charge. That is easily over a day, a working day of usage. And I still average between 5 and 5.5 hours of screen on time. Sometimes I get close to 6 hours of screen on time on this phone. Just yesterday, I had a casual day. I still got 18 hours of usage with nearly 6 hours of screen on time. So battery life on this phone is a HD plus for me. It's a thumbs up square for me. Amazing battery life. To sum it up, I'll let you guys know what exactly you can get out of this phone. If you're an extremely heavy user, you can get anywhere between 12 and 14 hours of usage. But if you are a moderate user, you can get anywhere between 24 and 26 hours of usage. If you are an extremely light user, you can get anywhere between 34 to 36 hours of usage out of this phone. So you guys don't have to worry anything about the battery life. The battery life has stayed solid for the past 8 months. The last thing I really loved on the Pixel 2 XL was its call reception. Calls on the phone were excellent, to be exact. I had no problems whatsoever. I could clearly hear what the other person on the other side was saying, and also could the other person. I did not face a single issue where I had any sort of a call reception problem on this phone. So the call reception is another area where this phone gets a big thumbs up from my side. Alright, I'm now done with the things I really liked about the Pixel 2 XL. Now I'm going to let you guys know about certain things I didn't like about the phone. And to start off with, one thing I did not like all that much about the Pixel 2 XL was the quality of audio while video recording. Don't get me wrong, the videos were stable and of rather high quality, and the electronic image stabilization on this phone was superb. But as far as the audio goes, I just felt my voice on most occasions sounded a bit choppy and a little robotic. And the next thing is the quality of images after zooming. The zooming after you zoom on this phone and take shots on this phone, the quality of images are not that great, to be honest. I find them to be below average. And the next thing I did not like very much about this phone was the performance of this phone's selfie camera during low light. I mean, some shots during low light, the phone struggles to take some shots during low light. I mean, the selfie cam, in very dark situations, it can barely detect your face. That's the problem with the selfie cam on this one. But if you switch on the flashlight, it does take some pretty good images. But to be honest, the performance of the selfie cam on this phone cannot even be compared to the Nexus 6P. The images shot on the Nexus 6P were way better in low light. The next thing I wasn't very pleased about in this phone, to be honest, it's not that I wasn't very pleased about it, but considering the price, I expected it to be a lot better. That is a screen on this phone. See, my phone is one of the initial units that came out, and yeah, this phone does have that blue tint issue when you tilt it to the sides. But to be very honest, nobody really does that, and I don't really tilt the phone by sides and watch any videos like that. So I feel that's a lame excuse to be making. But considering the price, yeah, Google should have put a better screen on this. But I'm not complaining. The screen quality is above average. It's just not the best out there for the price you pay. But to give you guys some good news right now, the new Pixel 2 XLs that come out, or rather sell in the market right now, no longer have that blue tint issue. Google seems to have sorted out that problem. So this con is no longer a problem with the Pixel 2 XL. I mean, the ones that have just come out in the market right now. Another thing I did not like about this phone was its fingerprint scanner. It's not that it's slow, it's really fast. And with the always on display on, you can probably see for yourself. Zip, it just unlocks like that. Again, zip, it just unlocks like that. But if you switch off this always on display and use the fingerprint scanner, I've noticed it takes more than a second to unlock. So in my opinion, it's not a con exactly, but being a high-end device, I expect it to be a little faster. But with the always on display on, it's really fast. And as you can see for yourself right now, this is exactly where I was getting to. It's not always very accurate. See, sometimes it fails to read my fingerprint. Yeah, now it's read it. You just saw on 2 occasions previously, it failed to read my fingerprint. And it's extremely sensitive. I mean, a bit of dust, a bit of water lands up over there, it just fails to read the fingerprint. So the fingerprint scanner, in my opinion, when it works, it's excellent. But when it doesn't work, it can be annoying at times. This isn't really a con on the phone. The only thing you need to be doing is making sure you take your finger and slowly place it on the scanner. Don't do it instantaneously, because I've noticed when I tend to do it very instantaneously, sometimes it tends to not read it accurately. So just take it slowly, and yeah, it unlocks. Place your finger slowly on it. You can see it for yourself. And it unlocks. This isn't a con exactly, but for a fact that it is not accurate all the time is a little annoying for me from time to time. That's about it. Now finally, my verdict is the phone has held up wonderfully well for the past 8 months of usage. Buy this phone if you really love using Android at its purest form. You want an amazing set of cameras, a good pair of stereo speakers, stellar battery life, and overall very speedy performance, speedy and consistent performance. And you will be receiving Android updates all the way till 2020. I think till the end of 2020 you will receive the latest Android updates on this phone. And finally, for many iPhone users who plan on giving Android a shot, this phone is the way forward. Believe me when I tell you this, it'll put a wide smile on your face. So that was my long-term review of the Pixel 2 XL. I hope you guys really liked the video, and if you guys are interested in following me from here on, I would suggest you guys to click the subscribe button right down there, and right next to it by the side you will find a bell icon. That's a notifications icon. So if you click on that, you will get to know of the latest videos I will be uploading on YouTube. You would be first in line to view them. So Thank you for being with me on this journey today, and I wish you guys a tremendous day ahead. Ciao for now.